Just in case you forgot, this is the only medium that sometimes feels a need to tell you what it is, you know? Like, imagine if you were watching Marriage Story and while Adam Driver's shouting, there's a sign in the back saying drama, you know? I want to talk about religion. Any religious people here tonight? Yeah, right on. Sorry. Let me just preempt that. I was raised Irish Catholic. For those of you who don't know, that's like Christianity, except we took a couple of creative liberties. Like when we were 12 years old, we take a pledge where we promise not to drink alcohol until we're 18, which makes no sense. We'd already been drinking for at least 5 years at that point. We'd already gone through multiple DUIs, a couple of AA meetings, and a divorce. I don't think a promise of God's going to stop us. Yeah. We also believe in not having sex until marriage, but again, we took some liberties here. We don't have sex after we get married. Important detail. I used to be religious when I started living in the real world, which I know is a very naive thing for someone who's trying to be a comedian to say. But like, I've seen some people achieve that. I haven't seen anybody achieve going to heaven and meeting Jesus, you know? And what would you say if you met Jesus? It'd be kind of an awkward conversation, wouldn't it? Like, hey, I like your sandals. Thanks for dying for my sins. That was really cool. I'm sorry I masturbated so much. Also, you're way less white than I thought you were going to be. Wow. Okay. I consider myself agnostic now. Any agnostics in? Yeah, right on. An agnostic, for those of you who don't know, is like an atheist, except we're pussies. Yeah? Because atheists are like, there's definitely no God. Whereas agnostics are like, I don't think there's a God. If there is one, I respect you. Okay. No, I'm not religious anymore, but I've been trying to work on myself in other ways. I've been going to the gym a lot more recently. You know, none of you believe that? Okay, cool. No, I like going to the gym because it makes me feel better when I eat fast food. You know, I'll go into a KFC like, you worked out today and yesterday. You deserved this. There must be some health benefits to a zinger. You know, a protein shake and a milkshake must have some ingredients in common. You know, no, I'm trying to eat better. I'm going for vegan options a lot more. Any vegans in? Good. Okay, you guys are scarier than Christians. No, it's getting strangely more accurate, though, vegan food, isn't it? Like, for people who don't eat meat, they're very good at replicating it. That'd be like if I say, you know, I would never kill my dad. But your few photos, what it might look like if I did. Yeah? No, I have a lot of respect for vegans, though. I don't have a lot of respect for pescatarians. Like, I have a friend who's a pescatarian, and I was like, what's your excuse there? Like, how do you moralize eating fish? And she genuinely said, well, fish's memories are so short, they basically don't realize they're being killed. Under that same logic, would you eat a human if they had dementia? Real questions here, okay? I'm trying to eat better. I'm definitely drinking too much recently, though. Anyone else relate to that? Yeah? I like drinking, though, because I'm constantly worried about money. But as soon as I start drinking, I become rich. You know? Your income becomes a lot more disposable once you've had 2 pints, you know? I never thought I was an alcoholic growing up in Ireland because everyone around me always drank more. I'm starting to realize I was just dealing with a bunch of pros, you know? Like, if you're on heroin, everyone around you does more heroin, you would think you're doing dandy, you know? The standard for being alcoholic is definitely higher in Ireland, though. In London, it's like, oh, you drink every night. Yeah, you're alcoholic. Whereas in Ireland, it just means you're social. Yeah? In Ireland, you have to have killed at least 2 people before they stage intervention. Yeah? After the first one, it's like, accidents happen. After the second one, it's like, we're sensing a pattern. Next time you go out, maybe don't bring your car keys. Yeah? I've been refused service many times in London. My advice to Irish people when that happens is just call them racist. You'll have a free pint of Guinness in your hand in no time. That only works if they're British, though. I learned that the hard way, all right? What else can I tell you about me? I turned 25 recently. Thank you very much. A lot of people don't believe I'm 25. I've come to realize that's not because I'm so mature, you know? Like, you know how you often hear people complaining about how they're the only person in their friend group who still gets asked for ID? It's a lot more embarrassing you're the only person not getting asked for ID. Like, they'll always double-check my friends who are older than me. And then they get to me, they're like, look at this guy. He's clearly got a mortgage to pay off. He's going through a divorce. Let him in. He needs a drink. Bit weird you're hanging out with those younger kids, though. 25 is an annoying age. It's not like young enough that I can brag or old enough that I can complain. It's also a terrible age to be single. So I'm not like a silver fox yet, okay? But I'm also not like a hot younger guy. I'm just a guy, you know? I've gone to the age where I'm starting to hear you'll do a lot more. Yeah. I wish. I don't do well on dating apps either. Like, I find that women's standards have gotten too high. The requirements have gotten too specific, you know? Like, he has to be tall. He has to be a gym nut. I have to be attracted to him. My standards are way lower. For me, all you have to be is alive and vaguely interested. Settling's important, okay? I've been trying to weigh off porn recently as well. Like, I found it got too addictive. Like, my desires got too ambitious. Like, it turns out my stepsister's just not interested. Which is weird, because I look just like my dad. But anyway. I've stopped going up to women on nights out now as well. You're welcome, ladies. Because I realize that, like, if I have a one-night stand and if I don't, the results are the same. I wake up sad. But if I have a one-night stand, I wake up sad and tired. And all I really care about nowadays is getting enough sleep. You know, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that, right? There are days where all I look forward to is sleeping. I just really enjoy rehearsing dying. Yeah? I'm looking forward to dying. I think I'll be really good at it, you know? Like, I think being a restless sleeper is actually a good thing. I mean, you just have a lot of energy, you have a lot more to give to the world. I'm a really peaceful sleeper. Like, if there is a God, he's looking down at me being like, look at this guy. He's ready to go. He's dead inside and out. All right. We're going to get a little darker here. I'm getting more and more concerned about the possibilities of there being a third world war. It's looking more and more likely, right? Yeah. I will say, though, it would be great to finally wrap up the trilogy. You can't just end on the second one. There's still so much storyline left to wrap up. Like, was Germany a bad guy or just misunderstood? I want to know. They do have a tough act to follow, though. World War II is great. It's one of the few sequels out there superior to the original. Yeah. It's like the Toy Story 2 of wars. Yeah? Like, just look at Hitler's arc over the course of that First World War. In World War I, he's just like a little soldier fighting for Germany. Then by World War II, he's ruling the whole country. By the end, he turns so evil that he kills himself, and the bad guy becomes the hero. Now that's character development. I'll leave you guys with something lighter. My mom was great at giving advice. Like, I was seeing this girl for a while, and I wasn't really feeling it. So I said to my mom, what's the right way to break it off without hurting her? And my mom goes, treat women the way you would like your mother to be treated. I think that's pretty good advice, right? Yeah. I've been using it ever since then. So now when I go on dates, I don't flirt with them. I tell them I love them straight away. And I ask them if I can borrow some money. Then they try to kiss me. I'm like, whoa, what the hell are you doing?
I asked you before the show. To give me like a few kind of facts about you and stuff. And one of them, which surprised me, was that you're trained puppeteer.
Yeah. That was just the most interesting thing I could think about.
So do you like sticking your hands in different kind of holes and stuff? What's the story?
Yeah, but only if they don't have legs.
Are you good with your hands?
I'm good at doing this. Doesn't really lend it. Women don't really find that impressive.
Well, it depends where you touch.
I've never gotten laid after a puppet show. I'll say that much.
Well, diversifying in the comedy, because comedy, it is all those things together.
Yeah.
And what do we see today, and what is actually expanding and what is diminishing in terms of kind of almost reducing in... I hardly ever see, clowning. We hardly ever see any clowning nowadays. Let alone, musical comedy. They're hardly ever around, Either they go into the theatre and we lose them out of comedy, and I think it's a loss.
I think the biggest thing is just, like, if there is something you want to do, just do it. Don't be concerned about the fact that there's not other people doing it, or some of the biggest concerns people have is that there's too many people doing it. If you have a unique voice, then that will find
I like
itself.
that. Okay,
You know what I mean?
That's fair enough, and I think that's the solution. I
Yeah.
think that's the solution, and that's
Just do what you
pretty
love.
democratic.
Yeah.
Do what you love, and differentiate, because you already differentiate because it is your own experience.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
wonderful.
exactly. Yeah.